I have, some questions about, your hockey career, kind of how you got here, what you are hoping for in the PWHL. And I really want to start off lightly before we get fully into hockey. You were talking a little bit when we first started about how your summer's going. So how is your summer going after finishing, your career at Penn State?
It's been really great. It's definitely coming out of college. It's an intense transition, having everything scheduled for you, literally having a million different things on your plate at all times. But it's been nice to just unwind, enjoy summer, be with my family, just prioritize training and really not have to focus on anything else except making myself better and getting myself ready to go for November, which obviously still a couple months to go here. So just continuing in training is really important, obviously now. So it's been really fun, and I found a really great group, and it's been a lot of fun.
That's great. Yeah. I'm assuming, like you said, you've been doing a lot of training. What do you like to do, like when you're not training, just, your regular off time?
So my dad just got us clubs, me and my sisters. So we've been golfing a little bit more. Him and I just went golfing today. So that's been happening a lot. Lots of trips here and there, just to the lake. Every year we go up north in Michigan. It's our family tradition. So that's always fun. We're big lake family, big water family. And aside from that, I love to take my dog for walks. I go on walks a lot, just kind of be outside and enjoy the summer. Um, yeah, and I'm trying to get back into reading. I'm not the biggest reader, but once I find a good book, I can actually read it.
Yeah, I mean, you and pretty much anyone who's like, I'm done with TikTok, I think. I've also been trying to get into
Yeah.
reading, so I fully feel that. Um, Speaking of November, have you ever been to Seattle before, or will this be your first time up in the Pacific Northwest?
I've never been to Seattle. Um, Funny enough, when I did get drafted, my dad was like, "Oh, I'm glad you got drafted there. Like that is one of the coolest places you could have ended up." And I've heard just amazing things from every person. So I'm excited to go out there and see what it's all about.
Yeah, is there anything that you're like super excited that you've heard about? I've had people like mention the coffee, the outdoors. Is there anything that like really pulls you into the city itself?
Um, Weirdly, I like rain, so I'm curious to see how that is and how much it rains. Um, and seafood. I love seafood. And I've heard obviously it's great out there right on the coast, so I'm really excited about that. I'm a big foodie.
Well, there you go. Yeah, no, really good eating spots up to here.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting a little bit into your hockey. You've come from several different programs. Specifically, you became a record setter at Penn State. Looking back, what moments or people do you feel really shaped your journey to where you are now?
So, I mean, the easiest answer for that is my dad. He played hockey growing up most of his life. He played through college. He went to Western Michigan, and he had a great story where, he walked on and then he busted his butt the whole way through and ended up as a captain with a scholarship. And he's kind of been just my ride or die through it all, along with the rest of my family. But he was also my coach, my right hand, like all those things. And he helped push me to go to Penn State initially because the program wasn't as developed as others, and that was kind of something that I realized that I wanted to be a part of the change there and make the team better and kind of go through the difficulties of doing that. And in that, obviously, Jeff Campersall too took a big chance on me. He was very passionate about me as a player, just as much I was about Penn State. So that really was amazing to me. And I mean, honestly, all the coaching staff there, like Allison Coomey, I had her for a few years. She was amazing, and all my teammates and everyone just had a huge impact on my life in college, on my transitioning and growing into more than just a player, but a person on and off the ice, and all those things. It's kind of hard to pick just one because so many people have affected my life there.
Yeah, it definitely seems like you've had a really great team around you, right? And as you grew up in these systems with these people around you, did you feel like you learned your play style, or like do you feel like you modeled your game after someone, or was that team there to like help you develop your own style?
Um, it's hard to say. Like I think I had to adjust obviously going into college in youth hockey. I think I was very offensive. I was a very offensive defenseman. I took that into college as well. But you know, you have to take it down a notch because the level has changed and especially going into the league. Like I'm focusing now on being a not necessarily stay at home, but lockdown defense, which is I think where my biggest strengths lie. So and going into Penn State, it was again, it was a big change. It was a big learning curve. And with the conference, like you have to be easily adjustable from playing a lower ranked team or an unranked team to then going out of conference and playing the third best team in the country. So I had to learn how to be adaptable, and my game really only changed in that sense where I had to really be able to change my style based on who I'm playing as well.
Yeah, you mentioned adaptable, right? You're also Penn State's all-time leading scorer among defensemen. How do you balance that like, that being able to score and also just like being that defenseman powerhouse that you can be?
It's really, I mean, to me, it's just about picking the moments, like not forcing things, not getting too in your head about things. You know, if we're down a goal, like I'm not just going to take it end to end every time. Just making smart plays and doing it in a way that's going to benefit the team, not in a way that, you know, I think that I can go down the ice and put it in the back of the net because that's not realistic. That's not what's going to happen every time. So, yeah, just making smart plays and knowing when to make that decision to really get up in there.
Is there a part of your game that you've developed where that you're super excited to bring to the PWHL?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I'm excited about is just the physicality. I think it gets better every single year. That's something that I love about the game. I get really intense. I'm very physical in all aspects of the game, and it really gets me going. Like it's my favorite thing. So I'm really excited about that. And just, I mean, just seeing the progress of the league throughout the past couple years, it's getting more and more physical, and I love that. It's awesome to see. So I'm excited to get in there and be a part of that.
Yeah, the league has definitely been growing, and I mean, specifically that leadership. The big part is that leadership aspect. It's also a big part of Seattle. Looking for those leadership roles, and that's also been a big part of your story too. You're an alternate captain at Penn State. How do you lead by example, or how do you bring that onto the ice and off the ice?
Um, for me, it's always been the same message of like put your head down and work. At the same note, I am also very vocal and I'm big on supporting my teammates. When I'm out of breath, I'm still kicking the boards, like giving everybody the biggest support that I can. Being a good teammate on and off the ice, those kinds of things. And then in terms of, again, being an example, I think it's just showing people how hard you're going to work in and out of games, like in practice. I think that's the biggest thing too, is never stopping. It's not just a practice. It's where you're going to make your games better and make yourself better and your teammates better and all those things. You're not just showing up for yourself, but for your team. So that was a big message that I like to carry throughout my whole career that luckily my team and coaches recognized and put me in that position.
Yeah, with there's a very diverse group of players coming into Seattle from vets to rookies, all with a huge chunk of that leadership experience. Where do you see yourself fitting in there?
I think it's definitely going to be a new role coming into like something that, again, I'm going to have to be very adaptable, but I also am fully aware, like some of these women have been, most of these women have been my idols for a very long time. So I'm really going into it with like, oh, two ears, one mouth kind of thing. Like I'm ready to listen and learn my role and know how to be the best in my role and learn from some of the greatest players in the world. Um, yeah, I'm just ready to learn, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I have one more question. But before I do ask it, is there anything that that I didn't ask that you were like super eager to talk about today?
Um, Honestly, it was just about the other players. I'm just excited to be around those people, so I'm glad you touched on that.
Yeah. Is there anyone where you're like, because you talked about how a lot of these people have been your idol before. Is there anyone where you're like, I don't know how I'm going to react around this?
I mean, I think the easy answer for that one is Hillary Knight. Like, I remember she shot me a text after the draft, just like a congratulations kind of thing, and it said like maybe Hillary Knight, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, why? Her name is literally in my phone right now. That's crazy. But I that's like she used to come around the rink when I played at the Mission. I have pictures of myself with her when I was a little U12, and we were all just looking at her just like eyes wide, and she was this shining player, and she still is. So I'm excited to be in her midst as well as all the other women too. I mean, we're not we're not short on we're not short on legends on this team, that's for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, final question. And maybe, you haven't even like had the chance to come to Seattle, but so maybe you haven't even thought about this. But in like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? How do you want Seattle fans to talk about you in 5 years from now?
5 years from that's a good question. I would like to be talked about as someone who busted their butt all the way through to continuously climb up the ladder and become a better player and teammate and become more known in the league. And whether that's, I mean, it would be awesome to be in Seattle. I don't know what the future holds, but um, just one of those players that's like maybe didn't because it's coming into a team of studs. So someone that they see that made a lot of growth.
Hello there, everybody. Charles Hamaker here with Circling Seattle Sports. I'm joined by Jen Barnes of Rough and Tumble that we happen to be at right now.
Yeah.
Jen, why don't you talk to me a little bit about what we're announcing today, which is our partnership.
I'm so excited about this. First of all, I just want to say thank you. I think all of us here at Rough and Tumble are big fans of what you and your team at Circling Seattle Sports does. And so, I know you know this, but when you came to me with this idea, it just seemed pretty natural. And it's not just me. I think a lot of people in the sports community in Seattle also really respect you and your team. So it's exciting to kind of see these two things melding together, and we're really excited to start implementing some of the things and then hopefully seeing you guys a little bit more often.
Yeah, and so with what Jen says about seeing us more often, we've got a few things in the works, but you'll see watch parties here. We'd like to do a few different of our community drives, which you'll hear about here in a little bit from now. We've got to make our announcements one at a time. I can't drop everything.
Not everything
right.
all at once.
But this has been a home for a lot of our team, whether it's myself, our friend, our photographer Liz is behind the camera. Liz is here often, so our team has kind of adopted this place kind of like our own since I saw you at our soft launch. So, it's been great to have that support. And in a lot of ways, and part of the reason I wanted to do this was the Rough and Tumble embodies a lot of what Circling Seattle Sports wants to do. Obviously with women's sports, with the storm and the rain, but just being, having the game on, every game on.
Yep.
How much of that, did you see a line kind of even before this idea was mentioned when I first met you?
I think it's always felt like that. I mean, you and your team were here on opening night, and you just feel like you're part of the space, so it felt like really natural. And the fact that you actually cover all of the sports really makes your group stand out. So you are always covering all the rain games, all the storm games. You'd have women's softball, you'd have women's basketball, you'd have women's hockey. We love it. So all of those things, and obviously passionate M's fans, passionate Hawks fans, and passionate Kraken and Sounders fans. So really, from our perspective, those two things meshed really well.
So, you heard it from Jen herself, but this will be our home for all of these events, whether it's you can't make it to these games at home, we're always going to direct you to Rough and Tumble, and obviously the games on the road as well. All these, we're talking about the rain, they've got their schedule out finally,
yeah, yep.
But this will be our home for that.
Great.
The storm games on the road, this is our home.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes.
I love it.
And when I mentioned it to Jen when I first had this idea come up, I had this idea come up wearing a pink wig.
Yes, you did.
Ahead of Megan Rapinoe's final regular season home game for the Reign this past year.
Yeah.
I told her it's because I wanted this to feel genuine.
Yep.
I wanted a connection to feel genuine, and it does. So that's what this is. Rough and Tumble is the home of Circling Seattle Sports, and I'm so excited to finally announce this partnership.
I can't wait.